What up, what up, what up? We are back. Paradigm Review Show. I had a little bit of trouble with the name last time, Mac, when I was on with Gaz. I was like, Review Show. So, Sisu 2023. Epic World War II vigilante, epic revenge film. Shot in Europe, shot in Finland, Finnish filmmaker, Finnish director. Just a couple of quick film newses. Welcome back, Mac the Overlord, Lord, first of all.
Well, I mean, let's just say that name right there is for ones that I think understand, these sort of genres and all that. So, yeah, man, I'm glad to be back again. I'm reviewing another actually pretty good, decent flick. So.
Yeah, we are back with action. I'm your host, Rasu. So this doesn't take a whole lot of detective work to figure that one out, huh, Mac? So this we're gonna do a little bit of film updates, news, but first and foremost, rest in peace to Ray Stevenson, the GOAT, legend of Punisher, Warzone fame, Firefly, and G.I. Joe 2 Retaliation of the Cobra. So Danny Boyle, or whatever the hell his name is in that one. Shout out to my dude, the Gray Stage. So let's have a quick moment of silence for Ray Stevenson, the GOAT. Rest in peace. So make sure everybody get that out there on Twitter. Rest in peace, Ray Stevenson. This film is coming to you from Lionsgate Films. This is I actually came into contact with this trailer when I was at John Wick Chapter 4. That's the relation between there and apparently he's in Thor as well. I think that's what my man was saying. And I was like, okay, we got to see this. This movie looks epic. John Wick 4, by the way, just passed $1 billion of the franchise, so that's the most highest grossing John Wick film. On to something which I think is much better and much more epic in every way. That is Sisu 2023 action. I don't know. I suppose there's some comedy elements in there, Mac, depending on how you look at it. Maybe some dark comedy.
I mean, I would say some, just because you have to understand this is a type of movie that's like it's action, but I thought it was like a bit Nazi exploitation.
Yeah, exactly. 100% right. 100% right. Looks like we have our boy Gaz Butt joining us from the mountaintop of the Temple of Mordor.
Yeah. What up?
What up, Gaz? You look like your usual cheery self. We're gonna go ahead.
So I'm up in like under 3 hours. I'm absolutely radiant.
Yeah. It's like 3 a.m. for Gaz, and never mind, he had technical difficulties, so that was fun. We're gonna go right into the.
You can hear him because I can't hear Gaz.
I can hear him. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Well, if I don't, if Gaz happens to say something to me and I don't hear it,
I might have to translate the British to American English. But guys, it's got the Queen's English, bro. All right. So anyway, let's go right into the the description, the synopsis. Yeah. What's the name of the movie? I was telling Mac how I couldn't remember the name of our last show, guys. All right. When an ex-soldier who discovers gold in Lapland wilderness tries to take the loot into the city, Nazi soldiers led by a brutal SS officer battle him. So it's pretty simple, guys. Jorma Tamalia plays Atami. He's the main character. It is directed by Jalmari Helander and is written by Jalmari Helander. Sorry to any Finnish people if I butcher any of those names. Dealing with an American guy here. So anyway, I don't want to give like too many spoilers because I kind of just want to anyway, get out there to the theater, guys. I think it's out on some streaming services now, so make sure you definitely stream it. I think it's coming to HBO Max. We get that sorted in the comments. We will post the trailer here, both above on here on the cards and then below. But yeah, I don't want to give like too many spoilers, guys. But if it's something that's like already on the trailer or whatever, then people should generally know. That being said, guys, it's a pretty straightforward plot. You know what I mean? Like exactly what we just read you, quite literally is what happens. But there's just a whole ton of action sequences in between, and we definitely don't want to blow those for you. I mean, if we, again, a lot of stuff is kind of obvious from what you see on the trailer, but right off the rip, looks like Gaz dropped. Hopefully we get him back. Right off, that was quick. Goodbye, guys. Thank you. That's Gaz's opinion on the film, guys. That's all, folks. So I just want to highlight, kind of like what me and Mac were talking about off air, which Mac was talking about the Tarantino influence due to the fact that one of the delivery methods is the chapters. Got you back in there, brother. And that's reminiscent a la Inglourious Bastards or the Hateful Eight. You know what I mean? But I think there's like quite a bit of other influences in there, and I just want to focus really on the filmmaking. And you get a flavor for this in the trailer. Cinematography is outstanding. Yeah. Even the editing, even the sound editing, I would say all three of those. The score, I was blown away at how good the music was. You know what I mean? It was really, really almost like, so the only thing is if you're expecting, and all the other reviews have covered this, if you're expecting some sort of super historically accurate war film, this is not Saving Private Ryan, right? So you're not going to get the kind of military history accurate stuff. That being said, there's a lot of amazing scenes as far as the layout of the scene and the cinematography, just the layout of the picture and the photography. I just thought it brought a lot to the table, and it has all those tropes of a classic 70s, 80s, 90s American action movie. Schwarzenegger, Stallone. A lot of people are calling this like a World War II Rambo. And then there's just some absolutely hilarious comedic relief. So let's get your thoughts, Mac, and then work our way into Gaz.
Oh, for sure, man. I mean, this is basically what you said right there. Like, it's not. I would say it's not really a war movie. It's more like an action movie.
Mm-hmm.
Basically,
agreed.
Obviously, they took the idea of Nazi exploitation and movie at the same time. Just making a good action by taking liberties. Like, for example, I already told you my favorite part of the movie, which is the minefield, which I'm not going to spoil. But definitely, like, those sequences in the movie, get you more intrigued and more, understanding of what this main character is all about, and basically how he fights a war compared to how the Nazis fought were fighting. And obviously, Nazi exploitation. The nasty Nazis.
Evil, villains.
Over all that. Don't take the whole world over. But at the end of the day, though, like, just enjoyed it for what it was, man. Just like very good acting. Like, I mean, it was. I will say this much though. I mean, even though the main character seems like old, dated out, and all that, like you can tell, like the guy. Oh man, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy it because this old guy here is gonna be running into like thousands of Nazis. But you can see like they had like action choreography. How soldiers fight CQC, close quarters combat and such. Just basically like showing him to be a badass, like an old warrior hero who was a gold prospector. That's another element of the movie too. Even though like I'll probably be saying it in a long shot though. It's almost comparison to like also what was that movie with Daniel Day-Lewis?
There Will Be Blood.
There Will Be Blood.
Oil prospector.
He just read the prospector. This theory on that one. So yeah, man, just basically, except it's a gold prospector and a guy that hardly talks throughout the whole movie at all. So
I think in the last scene he maybe has one line or something. He talks at the end. No, he finally talks near the end.
Yeah, but what I mean. End of the day, though, I just like how they did it. Right? The execution was. I'm not gonna say it's perfect. But it was like I did enjoy it more. What the plus the Tarantino aspect. Like I told you, with the
Yeah.
chapters and how they tell
Yeah.
the story. So like you said, straightforward, linear plot, just you know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
becoming better and better. So that's it.
Yeah, dude, I love the gold mining angle. So just a little quick personal story background, guys. Out here in California, from the rains, we had the flooding in our rain season, and when the snow melted up in the mountains, that we were having a little mini gold rush here. So people were going back to the rivers and the streams and panning and stuff like what he was doing in the movie. And like that movie made me want to go panning so bad. Like I just want to try it just to see if I can find. I'm probably not going to find anything, but like I just would love to find one little nugget just so I could say Sisu inspired me. Go ahead, guys.
Yeah, I had an interesting experience with this. If you're unfortunate enough to be in the UK, the movie actually doesn't drop until this Friday, but it was available on various, pay to view sites, on demand, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched it half in Spanish and then in English, and because there's minimal dialogue, I still managed to be able to understand it in Spanish. I'm pretty much the same as Mac, as you know, when we talked about it last week, Ross. Yeah, no, yeah.
Rossu.
Yeah, Rossu. People are going to be like, what the hell is this guy? Yeah. It's a habit from another scene. Anyway, I'm with Mac. The story is simple. It's more closer to Inglourious Bastards than Overlord for me. I enjoyed it. Okay, there's some ball ache moments which I'm sure we'll get into. There's one ultra ridiculous ball ache scene, but it's actually quite funny, and it's a nod to a very old school war movie, which we'll get into later. The cinematography though was great. The landscape, all of that stood out. I thought that was fantastic. It reminded me of, I forget the name of the actor, that Viking movie where it's literally him, and I think it's set in the New World and he's being hunted by
Valhalla Rising.
Yeah, it reminded me of that, the way it was shot with the landscape, so that was good.
I agree.
It shows you, just because I thought, oh yeah, this guy's old. Well, hell, if he's been trained, which he clearly had, and he was well known as like a one-man wrecking crew, as the report in the film.
Was it corporal? I was trying to remember what his rank was.
I can't remember what his rank was, but the Soviets, where they gave him the name, isn't it? The German soldiers, spoiler alert, drops where the name's from and why he's to be feared. This guy's essentially a trained lunatic, a very deadly one, as you'll see. I like the pacing, how it starts at first as a patient build to it. It's saying, at first this guy wants nothing to do with what he's going to be drawn into. The sound was excellent, as you said. The action
sound editing was
good.
Sick.
Oh yeah, it was top draw.
Music,
for me, the issues I have with it, which we'll get to later, but yeah, I mean, it's look, I'll say it like this: is the best thing I can say. Moment compared to the absolute utter ball-ache crap that is on at theatres at the moment. Whack 10. Guardians of Crap 3, and whatever else there is, Evil Dead Rise. My God, go and see Sisu. Look, I don't even think the film's that great. It's not terrible, but compared to that other crap, seriously,
it's the best thing out.
Just to rip on Evil Dead Rise very quickly. Spoiler alert! I don't care because the movie's crap. There's a scene where it's all of them in a corridor saying "Dead by Dawn, Dead by Dawn." Yeah, I was dead in 5 minutes. It's that crap, and you will be dead in 1 minute watching it. So go see Sisu. Over to you, man.
Yeah. Can you hear him yet, Mac? Or is he still?
I can hear him. I can hear him.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Voice just popped in like.
Perfect. So on Gaz's criticism, I'll put the question to you, Mac. the suspension of realistic action scenes. Is this not something? Well, I find it quite satirical. Its use is quite satirical in Sisu because it's making fun of the Western fasts and John Wicks and all those other Western mainstream action movies that already entirely suspend realism, as it were. So when you see Sisu do that crap, it kind of makes it look semi-possible compared to the crap Vin Diesel and his dorks do in the Fast franchise. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was more on the satirical side anyway. I mean,
exactly.
You gotta look at it like that. It's just one guy versus a whole bunch of freaking Nazis here.
A tank platoon.
And of course, like what happens once you come across the very end rope of those Nazis is straight up obliterate. So
he has his goddamn mining pick, and he whips ass with that thing.
Dude, it's like through a freaking mine or something.
It's like, so my friend was like,
not epic. I don't get
my friend was like, how the hell did he like throw the mine without blowing it up? And I told her that he took the thingy and he flicked it with his pick. You know what I mean? He flicked it on the ground with his pick.
It's good golf.
And that's the thing, though. You know, things like that could or could not be possible. So even if it wasn't possible and such, you know, the movie made it possible just for the show of entertainment.
Yeah. So real quick. I don't know if you guys saw all the trailers, but did you see that one that had all the tweets like, yes, this is going to be epic, blah, blah, blah. And that one guy was like, as long as nothing happens to the dog, I'm in. And they had like that yellow text, and it was like, it answered the tweet. It was like, the dog lives. So, I mean, I don't really feel like that's a spoiler because it was in the trailer. So it's like, and anyway, I mean, you know, nothing's gonna happen to his damn dog because look at the damn movie and look what it's about. he's gonna ether those guys.
But again, I like the dog because I think it symbolizes like lifeline.
Yeah.
As long as the dog lives, he's gonna live through it.
Yeah.
You know,
foreshadowing.
One part where he almost died. So
yeah. Real quick, we can come to some of Gaz's ups and downs, but I'm hesitant to even say anything for people who haven't seen this. But like they did gloss over the trailer, so I just want to get you guys' reactions. And I already talked about it to you guys. You know what I'm gonna say. The underwater scene, like just let me get you guys' reactions to the freaking underwater scene because like I was crapping my pants, man. It was so ridiculous and entertaining. It was so damn funny, like. That whole damn part is out of control from right when they get in there to everything that happens when they go over the hill. That whole sequence is out of control. Like
I'll just say this: I thought he was acting more like like how Navy SEALs were acting.
Yeah.
But this is how he took him out. I don't know, man. Like at the end of the day, though, like I said, it's all entertainment,
Yeah. It was, dude. I love that scene. That was freaking hilarious, man.
It is that was funny, but thing is, you could put an argument across for that scene. I don't know if they researched this, but even the Romans, they were one of the first militaries to start training people to hold their breath underwater, to swim and go behind enemy lines, take people out, etc. And apparently it was they could hold the breath for quite a long time as well, for all that time ago. So you could argue that point to it. What made it funny was the way he was just sat there calmly like he was going to do some sumo or something. Just sat there patiently. That was funny. And I thought the over the top part where one of the soldiers, which part I'm referring to, then like goes, "Oh, I'm going to deal with this," and I'll just say it involves the a gun on the tank. That was quite funny.
Yeah.
I didn't hate this movie at all as we get into it. I thought it was good. I still enjoyed it. It was entertaining. I just don't think it's that good, but it's still not bad. And my criticism of it isn't like it's not a major one. It's just to do with the pacing, which we'll get into. But
yeah, agreed. Yeah, no, and I agree with your point on the pacing. Like, I definitely want to watch it again, because usually the true test of pacing is how it holds up on your second view, and basically everything.
You see things
everything
the first time.
after the first view. So I definitely want to review Sisu at some point, rewatch it, and well, you're on the underwater thing, guys. You ever seen that hieroglyphic of the Assyrian troops with the breathing apparatus? So those kind of underwater breathing devices is ancient technology, as you were saying.
That's insane, man.
Yeah, there's so many good parts. I mean, obviously, you guys get a good idea of what happens in the climax, because they kind of showed how that all leads up to in the trailer. You can kind of take a guess that's near the end. But I thought all the characters were really awesome. The German officers, as well as the pilot. You know what I mean? There's just a lot of good work by everyone. Obviously, the main performance is the main character. And real quick, what Sisu means. I was kind of confused by this definition, guys, because they say it's like a unpronounceable word. It's a white-knuckled form of rage courage that when you get downtrodden by an oppressor and your back gets pushed against the wall, like what you come out with is like the power of like Sisu. So they essentially say that there's no word for it, but they also named the movie Sisu. Interesting lore.
They made like somewhat like small little transition, for what it means. Like when they said which I would like to see a prequel of, when they were talking about him fighting Russians.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
That
would be interesting.
Like, I forgot what it was.
It's the Immortal. Me and Gaz were talking about it earlier.
Yeah. That right there, Sisu could mean like that interpretation. That would be interesting. How we got the name.
I wonder if they would make another Sisu film, if it would. Seems like he kind of wrapped up this chapter, given how everything played out. But I wonder if that's what they would show Mac, is if they showed him again, if maybe they would do his prequel story of the Russian war, because it did sound like that was absolutely nuts from what they were saying in the film.
Yeah.
Honestly, if they ever made a sequel of the movie, I think that would be the only plot line to go.
Because the war is basically over, so I doubt it would pick up in 44 again. Like, that was the end of the war.
Like what he did, what he was talking about right there was like the beginning, when everything leading up to World War II, like when the Russians were fighting.
Yeah, there's two different fronts. Yeah. What were you saying, guys? You want to get in some of your ups and downs of the pacing?
Yeah, I mean, first two acts in the movie I think are fantastic. Just the way it builds up the tension, the atmosphere, it's balanced with some humor. Just to quickly pick up on the point you made about the cast, I thought the German officer and the main lead were the two that stood out. They stole the entire movie for me.
I thought so too.
The sergeant, I think he was a sergeant. The guy who was reporting to the officer.
He's like the tank guy. The tank guy or something?
Yeah, he was good. He was very strong.
I like the Russian pilot as well. I'd say he has a smaller role than the two you just named, but I thought he played his part.
Yeah, he wasn't bad, but those three definitely stood out.
Agreed.
What all that brings this movie down, and I would be willing to change my opinion on a second watch, like you rightly said, Ross. Give it a second watch, see what we think. It's just the pacing falls off a bit towards the end, where it goes a little bit slow. I didn't really find that scene impressive with all the girls firing the machine guns, and that's one of the satirical points. In reality, they would have flew back in the air from the kickback in the guns.
Well, I mean, that's like a Tarantino thing when he showed like the commercial with like the hot chick shooting the AKs and like what's that movie called? Jackie Brown, bikinis and AK. You know what I mean? That's the old girls with guns trope.
Yeah, that was the scene when they did the drive-by shooting inside.
Honestly, that was funny though. I'm not gonna. This is movie of the year for me. I mean, I don't know if I give it a 10, but I'm up there. What was better? Name one thing better this year.
There's nothing. Yeah, but we've got to.
Got him.
No, hang on.
Got him.
Hang on. Let
got
me finish.
him. Fartful's not part of it. Fine, go ahead.
I don't like Fartful, bro, as you know.
I know you don't.
If nothing else, comes out that is any good, then definitely.
Okay, there we go.
At the moment, but we've
Yeah.
still got the rest of the year to go. At the moment,
It doesn't look
because-
good. Indiana Jones and the Diarrhea of Destiny.
Well, this is what I was saying with the current releases that are out at the moment. We pick Sisu, even though it's not a terrible movie. I don't think it's absolutely great, but it's still good.
I didn't say it was perfect, but it's film of the year.
You didn't, man. I know you didn't, man. At the moment, if the standard of releases keeps up how it is, it will be, because it's so bad.
Yep.
There's a hilarious. This is a spoiler. There's a hilarious nod though to Doctor Strangelove at the end. When Sisu is fighting the German officer. That scene actually was one of my favorites. I thought that bare knuckle boxing scene was absolutely excellent.
That scene is sick.
That did put in some gritty realism, and that was pretty good. And then the way he's strapped to that bomb, the nod to
gas, relax. Yeah, I get it.
That was funny.
The Doctor Strangelove reference. That's all you got to say. Just don't tell the audience that of the movie if they haven't seen it yet.
Like in reference to what Gaz was saying, though, they definitely adding the Kubrick reference to Doctor Strangelove.
They did,
made it more of what it was as a satire.
Oh yeah. Well, Kubrick's a European director, you know what I mean? As is this guy. Let's take it on home, boys. Unless anybody else has anything to add, but I agree. I would agree with Gaz. I mean, overall pretty awesome. There are some slowdowns in the third act. Gaz, I would argue some of those are character development for plot building, though, because when your freaking protagonist is in his mid-60s, you're not exactly going to have him flying through the fortress like Bruce Lee and Enter the Dragon, you know what I mean? So some of the things are, somewhat understandable, but
having a bout with Chuck Norris.
But didn't it show that good balance? So could be on about the satirical side, but just because a guy is that age doesn't mean he's not going to be capable or deadly anymore, because he's very experienced.
I agree.
He is still going to kill the average person. He is still going to be aware of how to use tactics, how to ambush an enemy, etc., etc. He's still going to be a force, and I think they do show that, which works in the film's favor.
I mean, he did a bunch of creative stuff, kind of right around that drive-by scene. Trying to think of a way to say this without spoiler, but
I know what you're
spoiler alert. Fast forward this if you don't want to see what I'm about to tell the boys. The drive-by Mac was talking about how he created that roadblock with the news. I thought that was sick. He was still surprising me up until, you know what I mean, up until the third act, which I was like, this is tight. We're gonna come into our rating system, folks. Like, subscribe, share. Zodiac Files 4 coming soon. It's got a 7 out of 10 on IMDb. Sisu, and I gave it a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. Sisu is an epic vigilante action revenge story adventure. Go ahead, Mac.
I would give it an 8.5. I mean, like you said, cinematography was good, music was good, sound was good. Story, though basic, you know what I mean? It told it pretty well, along with the action. I guess what? I mean, if they were to make a sequel, or prequel or whatever, I'd be totally down to watch it.
Same here.
It's got me as interested as what Accident Man had me interested the first time I've seen it.
Of which one there, Mac? You're a little low.
Now I said watching this was the feeling of when I would first watch Accident Man. It feel like keep continually watching,
Yep.
But that's my rating.
Similar to John Wick 4, I would say, Gaz, with limited dialogue from the main character. And it's not a dialogue-driven movie by any sense of the word, except for dialogue from every other character other than him.
Well, it works. You could even say, and I know what sequence you're referring to there, and there was another one I was thinking of, which, is part of that scene, and all I'll say is it's World War II, the Fast and Furious edition, but not in a bad way.
Yeah. They I think they said like what Mad Max meets something, or Mad Max in World War II. That's what it said on the trailer.
I don't know why, but
yeah, just because of like the gun, the bikes and the vehicles. Like I think that you know what I mean. I'm straight. I didn't. Max looking at me like I wrote the freaking text on the trailer. Like, dude, ask Lionsgate.
yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
just found it completely like. Why
That's
would
the
they
reaction
try
I
to-
had. That's the reaction I had. That's why I brought it up.
It is what it is, though, man. I mean, I guess you can see some Mad Max on it. I wouldn't like.
I can see like a little bit of influence, but I wouldn't say it's a similar genre. I mean, there is some kind of post-apocalyptic. You know how some of that end of World War II imagery is kind of like post-apocalyptic with the blown out cities. And I do want to say the use of the CGI. I don't want to say what it was, but when he showed those cities and the way they depicted them, it was CGI. But like honestly, I thought tastefully done. Like it didn't look like that Avatar. Like put your 3D glasses on when you were 5, like blue. Like I hate that. Like CGI see-through, like genie from Aladdin color. You know what I mean?
And it needed.
It was like an old town that did get burnt down. And they just did it for the sake of the movie.
I think, with the subject, with the subject matter though, it needed that balance. It needed some of those light injections. Kind of, if you think of any of the action movies from those eras you were mentioning, Ross, like we talk about all the time. We have figures. The same with the westerns. They'll always have that little bit of a comedic side, just in a scene here and there, just to give it a bit of a balance. Even right at the end scene, and I'll just say for you, you'll see what I mean. I'll just say how he makes deposit. That's all she'll say. Even that's funny.
Hell yeah! I like that scene right before the credits.
And I thought how they had all the characters dressed as well was very accurate. It was very good. I'm still at a 7.
You mean in the bank or in the whole movie?
In the whole movie.
Yeah, I agree. The wardrobe. Yeah, wardrobe was sick.
I'm at a 7. I was that could change on a second watch, but I thought it was a good, entertaining movie. Okay, there's some parts that, you think, right, but you've just got to kind of eject your brain on those ones. Compared
it's an 80s style action movie.
Yeah, compared to everything else that is out, as you were saying, it's terrible. I wouldn't put it with the movie of the year yet, just in case we actually do get a surprise come the end of the year. At the moment, looking on the caliber of releases, it's definitely in contender to be up for movie of the year because everything's just been so terrible.
Sisu's winning by a lot.
Yeah, it really is because Evil Dead Rise is hyped up everywhere, saying, "Oh, it's great" and all of this. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. It is that bad.
I probably won't watch it.
Yeah, the only other one I'd say you might get a bit of a laugh at, and Nick Cage pretty much carries the whole film, is Renfield. That's actually not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Fantastic in that movie.
Yeah, I agree.
Other than that, I cannot think of anything else worth going to the theater.
Well, our Fast X review is coming soon, guys. I believe this weekend was opening weekend, so I'll be making it probably by this weekend. And we should have Mike on for that one, so it should be hilarious.
I'm being dragged to see that this Friday. One of my buddies wants to see it.
Yeah, Fast X. Okay, well, anyway, that's Sisu, guys. Definitely make it down there, hit the theater, stream it. It's freaking awesome. If you like John Wick, I guarantee you like it. If you like Overlord, you like it. Wolfenstein fans, anybody that really likes World War II. Again, it's not historically accurate. That's fine. It's just a high-octane action movie. The action is 10 out of 10. I really like the editing and just use of, gunplay, weapons, hand-to-hand, everything that we mentioned was all fire. So like, subscribe, share, check out our comic book, Mac and myself, The Dark Rift Volume 1, Escape from Earth on Amazon. That's about it. R.I.P. Ray Stevenson, Big Ray. And we will be back for next time for Fast X, Rasu, Mac the Overlord, Gazbutt. Like, subscribe, share, follow. Check out the Twitch, twitch.tv/PlanetXGames. There are some new combos up there from our recent Streets of Rage 4 runs, Dark Tide. What else do I have on there? A few other games. CS2 coming soon. Oh, Diablo 4 beta. I had Server Slam. I had that up there too. So holla at us, guys. Any film recommendations, put them below in the comments. We're out.
Peace.